Welcome back to Simple English Stories. I am happy you are here. In this channel, we tell slow and clear stories in simple English, perfect for beginners and language learners at level A1 and A2. Every word is chosen carefully. Every sentence is short and clear. All you need to do is listen. Today we return to a character you already know, Sara. She lives in the city of Greenfield. She works in a library. She loves books, yellow tulips, and Saturday mornings at the Blue Cup coffee shop. You met her in episode 1. Today is a Thursday, and Thursdays for Sara are special. Sit back, relax, and let's begin. My name is Sara. I am 26 years old. I live in a small apartment on Maple Street in the city of Greenfield. I work in the public library. I love my job. Every day of the week is a little different. Monday is quiet, Tuesday is busy, Wednesday is long. Friday is always happy because the weekend is coming. But Thursday is my favorite day. On Thursday afternoons, I read stories to the children at the library. It is my favorite hour of the whole week. But first, there is the morning. I wake up at 7 o'clock. The alarm rings. I open my eyes. The room is bright. The curtains are thin and white, and the morning sun comes through them easily. Everything in my room looks soft and golden. I sit up slowly. I stretch my arms above my head. I yawn. Then I smile, because it is Thursday. I go to the bathroom and wash my face. The water is cold. It wakes me up completely. I look in the mirror. My hair is messy from sleeping. I brush it carefully until it is smooth and neat. Then I brush my teeth. I go to the kitchen. Today I want a good breakfast because it will be a long day. I take out eggs, butter, bread, and some cherry tomatoes from the refrigerator. I make scrambled eggs with the tomatoes. I make 2 pieces of toast with butter. I put everything on my favorite blue plate. I sit at the table and eat slowly. I look out of the window. The sky is very blue today, a deep, clear blue with no clouds at all. The trees on Maple Street are moving a little in the wind. Their green leaves catch the light. A cat is sitting on the wall across the street. It is orange with white paws. It sits very still and looks at the street below with serious yellow eyes. I watch it for a long time. The cat does not move. "Good morning, cat," I say quietly, even though the cat cannot hear me. I finish my breakfast and wash my plate and cup. Then I go back to my room to get dressed. I choose carefully today, a soft green dress and a light gray cardigan. I put on my comfortable brown shoes. I look in the mirror. Yes, this is right for a Thursday. I pick up my bag. Inside, my wallet, my keys, my phone, my notebook, and one more thing. A small cloth bag with a book inside. The book is for the children this afternoon. I chose it 3 days ago. It is a picture book about a little bear who is lost in the forest and finds his way home. I love this book. I think the children will love it too. I leave my apartment at 8:30. I walk down 4 flights of stairs and out onto Maple Street. The morning air is warm and fresh. Summer is coming. I can feel it in the air. A softness, a warmth, a smell of flowers and cut grass. I walk slowly. I have time. The library opens at 9, and it takes only 15 minutes to walk there. I pass the Golden Loaf Bakery. Maria is standing at the door again, wearing her white apron. She is arranging a small basket of bread rolls in the window. She looks up when she sees me. "Good morning, Sara. Thursday already?" "Thursday already," I say. "How are you, Maria?" Very good, very good. Busy morning. I made almond croissants today. Do you want one?" "Oh, yes, please." Maria goes inside and comes back with a warm almond croissant in a small paper bag. I pay for it and put it carefully in my bag. I will eat it at my desk with my morning coffee. "Have a good day," she calls after me. "You too, Maria." I continue walking. I pass the park. The fountain is running. The water catches the light and sparkles like small diamonds. An old man, the same man I always see, is sitting on his bench with his newspaper. He raises one hand when he sees me. I raise my hand back. We do this every morning. We have never spoken, but it feels like a small friendship. 2 children are already in the park, running around the fountain. Their mother is sitting on the grass, drinking coffee from a travel cup and watching them. She looks tired but happy. A dog runs past me on a lead, a big brown dog with floppy ears and very big paws. The dog looks at me with bright, happy eyes. I step aside to let him pass. His owner, a young woman with red hair, smiles at me apologetically. Sorry, he's very excited this morning. No problem, I say. He is beautiful. The dog wags his tail as if he understands. I arrive at the library at 8:50. The library is a large stone building with tall windows and a wide front door painted dark red. Above the door, in gold letters, it says, Greenfield Public Library, established 1923. I love this building. I love everything about it. The heavy doors, the smell of old paper and wood, the high ceilings, the long rows of shelves full of books. I take out my key and unlock the staff door at the side. I go inside. The library is quiet at this hour, still and peaceful, like a sleeping thing. The morning light comes through the tall windows in long golden lines across the floor. I go to the staff room and put down my bag. I make a cup of coffee with the small machine in the corner. While the coffee is making, I take out my almond croissant and put it on a napkin on my desk. I sit down. I drink my coffee. I eat my croissant slowly. It is warm, sweet, and buttery. Perfect. I look around the empty library. This is one of my favorite moments of the day. Before it opens, before anyone comes, when it is just me and all the books. At 9 o'clock, my colleague David arrives. David is 32 years old. He is tall with dark skin and a short beard. He always wears neat shirts. Today, it is a pale yellow one. He is quiet and kind and very good at his job. Morning, Sara, he says, putting his bag on his chair. Morning, David. Good coffee today. I made it strong. Perfect. He pours himself a cup. Thursday already. Thursday already, I agree. He smiles. Story day. Story day, I say happily. At 9:15, the library opens. The big red door is unlocked, and the day begins. The first person to come in is Mr. Patterson. He is 70 years old, with white hair and a very straight back. He comes every single day. He goes to the same chair, the big green armchair by the window, and he reads for 2 hours. He always reads history books. Good morning, Mr. Patterson, I say. Good morning, Sara, he says, nodding politely. Beautiful day. Beautiful day, I agree. He goes to his chair. He sits down. He opens his book. And that is the last we will speak until he leaves at 11:30 and says goodbye. More people come in through the morning. A young mother with a baby in a pushchair looking for children's books. A teenage boy who needs books for a school project about the Second World War. A woman in a business suit who wants to use the computers. An older woman who returns 6 books and asks for 6 more. Crime novels, all of them. Did you enjoy the last ones? I ask her. The first 5 were excellent, she says. The 6th one, I knew who did it on page 3. Too easy, I say. Far too easy, she says firmly. Give me something harder. I go to the shelves and find 3 crime novels that I think are very good and very surprising. She looks at them carefully, reading the back covers. These will do, she says, satisfied. I enjoy these small conversations. Every person who comes to the library has a story. They come for different reasons. For information, for study, for quiet, for company. But they all come because they need something. And I like helping them find it. At 1 o'clock, David and I take turns for lunch. He goes first. I sit alone at the desk and watch the library. It is quieter now. Mr. Patterson left at 11:30, as always. The teenage boy left with a pile of books. A few people are still here. A man reading at a table, 2 university students working on laptops, a young girl sitting on the floor in the children's section, reading a picture book by herself. I look at the girl. She is about 5 years old. She has 2 braids in her hair and she is wearing a yellow dress. She is very concentrated, her small finger moving along the words on the page, her lips moving slightly. She is learning to read. I watch her for a moment and feel something warm in my chest. This is why I love this job. When David comes back from lunch, it is my turn. I take my bag and go outside. The sun is strong now. I find a bench near the library entrance and sit down. I take out my lunch, a small container with rice salad, cherry tomatoes, and feta cheese. I made it last night. I eat slowly and look at the street. People walk past. A bus stops and opens its doors. A group of school children goes by in a line, holding hands in pairs, their teacher walking at the front. I take out my phone. I have a message from Leila, my new friend, the woman I met at the Blue Cup coffee shop 3 weeks ago. She moved to Maple Street from Morocco. We have met twice since then for coffee. Her message says, "Hello, Sara. Are you free on Saturday? I want to make shakshuka for you. I promised." I smile and write back, "Yes, I would love that. What time?" She answers immediately, 11 o'clock, my apartment, number 14, second floor. I write, "Perfect, I will bring the bread." She sends a happy face. I put my phone away and finish my lunch. I am looking forward to Saturday already. At 2 o'clock, I begin to prepare for story time. It starts at 3, but I always prepare early. I like to be ready. The story corner is in the children's section at the back of the library. It is a round space with a soft blue carpet and small colorful cushions arranged in a circle. There is a big chair at the front, the storyteller's chair. It is red and comfortable with wide armrests. I always feel important when I sit in it. I arrange the cushions in a neat circle. I count them, 12 cushions. There are usually between 8 and 12 children. I put 2 extra cushions to one side, just in case. I take the picture book from my bag. The cover shows a small brown bear standing in a dark green forest, looking up at the stars. The title is, "Bear Finds His Way Home." I open it and read through it one more time quietly to myself. I know it well by now, but I like to refresh the words in my mind. The pictures are beautiful, soft watercolor paintings in green, blue, and brown. The forest looks real. The bear looks lonely but hopeful. I think the children will love the pictures. David passes by and looks at the book. "Good choice for today," he says. "Do you think so? The bear story?" The children always love animal stories. He nods. "Good choice." I feel pleased. At 5 minutes to 3, I hear the sound of small voices in the library. The children are arriving. They come with their parents or grandparents, or sometimes with a childminder. They come in 1s and 2s and 3s. They see the story corner and they go straight to it, choosing a cushion, sitting down, looking at me with wide, expectant eyes. Today there are 10 children. The youngest is 3 years old, a tiny girl called Rosie with curly red hair and very big eyes. She always sits in the front. She always listens the most carefully. The oldest is 8, a boy called Ben, who says he is too old for picture books, but comes every single week. There are also 2 sisters called Mia and Clara, who always sit together and hold hands. A quiet boy called Sam, who never says anything but always smiles. A girl called Priya who asks many questions. Twins called Leo and Max who sit on opposite sides of the circle but make faces at each other across the cushions. A girl called Hana who is new today. Her grandmother brings her and she looks nervous. And a boy called Oscar who already has a biscuit in his hand, even though there are no biscuits here. "Hello, everyone," I say in a warm, clear voice. "Hello, Sara," most of them say. I look at the new girl, Hana. She is sitting close to her grandmother, holding her hand. Her eyes are big and a little afraid. "Hello," I say to her gently. "Is this your first time here?" She nods. "My name is Sara. What is your name?" "Hana," she whispers. "Hana, that is a beautiful name. Welcome, Hana. I think you will like this story." She says nothing, but she loosens her hand from her grandmother's just a little. I hold up the book so all the children can see the cover. The small brown bear in the dark green forest. The star is above him. Today's story, I say slowly, is called Bear Finds His Way Home. "A bear," says Rosie from the front row. "Yes, a bear," I say. "Are you ready?" "Yes," say most of the children. "Yes," whispers Hana. It is the first time she speaks above a whisper. Her grandmother smiles. I open the book and begin. The story is about a young bear called Bruno. One autumn day, Bruno is walking in the forest and picking berries. He walks further and further, following the best berries, and suddenly, he does not know where he is. The forest looks different. The trees are taller. The path is gone. Bruno is lost. He sits down under a big tree and feels afraid. It is getting dark. The stars are coming out, one by one, in the sky above the trees. But then Bruno remembers something his mother told him. "If you are ever lost," she said, "look for the river. The river always goes home." So Bruno stands up. He listens. And far away, very faint, very soft, he hears the sound of water. He follows the sound. Through the dark trees, past the tall rocks, over the soft moss, and slowly, slowly, the sound of the river gets louder and louder until, there it is, the river, shining silver under the stars. And on the other side of the river, Bruno can see the lights of his home. I read this slowly. I change my voice for different parts. Quiet and afraid when Bruno is lost. Brave and hopeful when he follows the river. Warm and joyful when he sees the lights of home. I hold the book up at different times so everyone can see the pictures. The children are very quiet. Even Leo and Max have stopped making faces at each other. Rosie is leaning forward with her mouth slightly open. Sam is smiling his quiet smile. Ben, the 8-year-old who says he is too old for picture books, has his chin resting on his hands and his eyes fixed on the page. And Hana. Hana has moved forward on her cushion. She is no longer holding her grandmother's hand. She is watching me and listening with her whole body. When I finish this story, there is a moment of silence. Just 1 or 2 seconds. The kind of silence that means everyone is still inside the story. Then Rosie says, "Again!" Everyone laughs, including the grandmothers and parents sitting behind the children. "Next week," I say. "We will read another story next week." "What story?" asks Priya immediately. "I don't know yet," I say. "I have to choose. Do you have any ideas?" "A story about a cat," says Rosie. "A dragon," says Max. "Something scary," says Ben, trying to sound older than he is. "A princess," says Clara. "No, a princess who fights dragons," says Mia. Her sister looks at her and nods seriously. "A princess who fights dragons," I repeat. I like that idea. Hana raises her hand very slowly, almost shyly. Yes, Hana, I say gently. A story about the sea, she says quietly. I like the sea. A story about the sea, I say. That is a wonderful idea. Hana looks down at her cushion, but she is smiling. The children say goodbye one by one as their parents collect them. They put on their coats and bags. Some of them wave at me from the door. Rosie blows me a kiss, which makes me laugh. Hana is the last to leave. She walks toward the door holding her grandmother's hand again. But at the door, she stops and turns around. Sara, she says. Yes. I liked the bear. I like the bear too, I say. See you next week, Hana. She nods and disappears through the door. After story time, the library is quiet again. David and I tidy up the story corner, putting the cushions back neatly, folding the small blanket that Rosie always pulls onto her lap during the story. Good session today, says David. Yes, I say. There was a new girl, Hana. She was shy at first, but by the end she was listening so well. They always do, he says. Stories do that. Yes, I say. Stories do that. We close the library at 6 o'clock. David says goodbye and walks to his car. I put on my cardigan, the evening is a little cooler now, and walk out into the early evening light. The sky is a beautiful pale orange and pink. The sun is low. Long shadows fall across the pavement. Maple Street is busy at this hour. People coming home from work, children playing outside, shops still open with their lights on. I walk slowly. I am tired, but it is a good, full kind of tired. The kind you feel after a day that meant something. I pass the park. The fountain is still running. The old man with the newspaper is gone now. He always leaves at 4. But a young couple is sitting on the bench where he usually sits, close together, talking quietly. The orange cat, the one with the white paws, is walking along the top of the wall. It stops and looks at me. Good evening, cat, I say. The cat blinks slowly, then it walks on. I smile. I keep walking. I reach my building. I climb the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. I unlock my door. I step inside. My apartment is quiet and warm. The yellow tulips from Saturday are still on the windowsill. They are a little older now, their petals opening wider, but they are still bright and beautiful. I change into comfortable clothes, soft trousers, a warm jumper. I fill a glass of water and drink it slowly, standing at the kitchen window, looking at the street below. Then I start to cook dinner. Tonight I make pasta. Simple pasta with tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, and basil. The smell fills the whole apartment. I hum a little song while I cook. I don't know what song it is, it just comes out. I eat at my kitchen table, alone but not lonely. There is a difference. I have learned this. Alone can be peaceful. Alone can be enough. After dinner, I wash up and then I sit on my sofa with a cup of chamomile tea and my book. But before I open the book, I take out my notebook. I open it to a fresh page. I write today's date at the top, Thursday. Then I write 1. Today, Hana came to story time for the first time. She was afraid at the beginning. By the end, she asked for a story about the sea. 2. The almond croissant from Maria was the best thing I have eaten this week. 3. On Saturday, Leila will make shakshuka. I am very happy about this. 4. The bear always finds his way home. I close my notebook. I pick up my tea. I pick up my book. Outside, the city is quiet now. The street lamp on the corner makes a soft orange circle of light on the pavement below. Somewhere, far away, a dog is barking once, twice, and then stopping. I open my book to chapter 8. The family who lives by the sea is having dinner together. The window of their house is open. The sound of the waves comes in. I read until my eyes are heavy. Then I put the book on the table, turn off the lamp, and close my eyes. Thursday is my favorite day, and today was a very good Thursday. Thank you so much for listening to Sara's Thursday. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like. It helps this channel reach more English learners around the world. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And leave a comment below. What is your favorite day of the week, and why? See you in the next story. Goodbye!